Okay, we're going to try, can we have some lights on, please? Thank you. So we'll try to get the numbers here as quickly as we can. Okay, starting in the 70s, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, you all should be seeing these, 94, 95, above 95, okay. All right, I can't, listen, I've looked at this more than once, I have gone back and forth. I'm coming down now after watching it 3 or 4 times, which is not fair. I'm coming down to an 88, but I was at a 92 at one point.
Oh my God.
Okay, so there you go. 4 points. We say, hey, what can you do? All right. Introduction, a 9. Components 1 and 2 are 8s for me. I didn't feel there was that much there. It was okay. It was fine, but it wasn't like, stellar. Component 3, a 9. I thought with her audiovisual, which I know is done down lower, but I just thought it wasn't just the audiovisual, there was more that maybe she could have shared with us, other than showing us a journal and going to that website. Now the website was a good site. So it was a nice part of what she did, but I just didn't feel there was that much to, this is my product, wow. So, anyway, a language, she gets a 7 also. 2000 diet, first off, my mom, blah, 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 I decided, amount of miles, which is, when it's supposed to be which are, and, really, really, really. So putting it all together.
What was the conclusion?
It's confident, it's fine, that's what most of the kids do.
What'd you say for conclusion?
What was your score? Conclusion, I gave her a 9.
Okay.
Eye contact, well, it was a 9 because it wasn't what I would call comprehensive, because she focused largely on the right and the middle. And the people sitting on her left, and there were quite a few of them, weren't getting any attention from her, very little. Okay. Her voice, a 9. I didn't feel she had too much excitement or variety most of the time. She had some energy, it was good, and 9's a good grade. I just didn't see it as a 10. And then, of course, the rest are 5s. So if you were in the high 80s, above 85, you don't consider yourself being too harsh. I think if you're below 85, again, I think that's low. I think that's too tough. I wouldn't see her as a 95 at all. I've seen 95s. I don't think she reached that level. But somewhere between 85 and 95, in that range somewhere, would be fair. I think would be fair. We have about 5 minutes. I would like you to see the compelling. Now, it's not compelling so much in the delivery. It's compelling in the content. Okay? A little bit shaky on delivery, just a tiny bit. Can we see number 3?
Imagine that you are a parent and you're carrying a child for 9 months and the baby ends up coming 4 months early. Well, the doctor comes in and tells you the next day that your child's not going to make it. And if it does, that it's going to have complications such as being paralyzed or blind or deaf. And that is what my mom had to go through when she had me. I was born 1.5 pounds. So what I decided to do for my senior project was volunteer with the March of Dimes Foundation, which is research for premature birth and the birth defects that go along with it. So the 3 components of my project are the process, the product, and the outcome.
Okay, thank you.
So
Yeah, when she finally said she was 1.5 pounds, I mean, that stopped me right in my tracks. I had no idea that was coming, and I don't think the judges certainly did either. And for her audio-visual, boy, did I have a hard time. It was incredible, but it was just one little thing. The question is, was that one thing sufficient for what she was trying to get us to understand? She had a diaper for a premature baby. The diaper was this big. And she said it would fit a baby the size of a banana. And you know, in a way, it was all the audio-visual I needed. Somebody else might say, well, that's not enough. That's very dramatic and all that, and, you know, and it has some impact, but she really should have some other things there to show some of the development along the way as a project. Again, that's an individual judgment call. All right? At this point, because I don't want to keep you over, I would like you to have the chance to ask questions if there's something that's still maybe troubling you a little bit about any of what we've talked about tonight. Anything you want to clarify? Yes, can you clarify it really loudly so everyone can hear?
I'd like to clarify component 3.
Okay?
I guess I'm not understanding what part of it.
Well, for most of them, that is where they exhibit the product and have the audio-visual. That's if you look at the task, you go back to the task 4 page, it tells them component 3. And remember, it says possible components. They're not limited to this, but that's what most of them choose. They put the product, the canoe, okay, the diaper, whatever. They put the product at the end. That's what goes in that component. So all of the work they've done in the project, and this is the culmination. It's supposed to be showing you how it all came together. Does that help or not? Yes?
Is somebody else timing them? I just noticed the time penalty points in that. Who's?
Dave is going to tell you all about that.
Okay.
Okay? Any other questions? Yes?
Is the audio-visual aspect, is that stored in the body, or is that in the portfolio visuals? Is it scored twice?
Well, I know, I was a little double dipping there at one point, kind of. It should be right where it is, okay? But since it's such a huge part of the 3rd component, and that is an issue we probably need to revisit, because we are asking people in a way to consider it twice. You know what I'm saying? And yet, and on the other hand, it is the major focal point of the entire project. So maybe it's okay that it's considered twice. You know, I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it's an excellent observation. Yeah. Yes?
So students who may have some learning challenges and they have modifications in the program, is that taken into consideration?
I'm not sure how to present that.
Yeah,
It has to be somehow.
In some rooms, we strictly have students with certain learning disabilities where the judges are aware of the situation. In other situations, we have teachers who have decided what modifications their students need, and we either arrange for those nights, or even in some cases, we do those at other times of the day.
Yes.
A couple of the one we watched, when we said what the were, they just listed those three things.
Yes, that's why, yes, some of them do. Some of them will be more creative than that.
So is that acceptable to just?
Yes, well, certainly it's clear. And clarity is more important than eloquence. Know what I mean? I mean, there is a quotation by it. It's not my idea. Well, I never found the author's name. If anyone knows it, I'd love to know. And I've Googled it, never found it. It goes, wit and eloquence are luxuries. Clarity is a necessity.
So they can just read that like the way it is.
Yeah, they
But
can.
it's preferable if they elaborate a little.
Yes, it would be nice if they had another way to phrase it. The more sophisticated speakers will. Okay? You will hear it a lot. You will hear it a lot. But even from our top debaters in the country who make it to national finals, they will say, we are going to examine this from 3 different perspectives or areas. 1, 2, 3. The judges want it to be clear more than they care about the eloquence part of it. Yes.
How do you handle it if you have a young student, like for yourself, and how to make that student feel more comfortable that you're in front of you? If they know.
If you know a student that you're judging, which of course would not be your son or daughter, yeah. Well, I had both my sisters in class, so I have a memory of trying to make it clear somehow without embarrassing them to death that I wouldn't punish them for being related to me, but they weren't going to get rewarded for it either. So I got home that night and had to listen to it in the bedroom. No, I know. I think this is fine. Remember, we're going to try to be human here. So if you want to say something at the beginning, hi, and so on, that's it. And I think everybody understands that we all have integrity, and we're going to do our best to be fair and reasonable.